How about it, y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. Believe it or not, we're getting a new animal on the farm today, and it's not a goat. So y'all stick with us, and I hope you enjoy the video. So before the new animal gets here, we got several things we need to get done and to make a spot for this animal. This animal's never been separated from its mother. I don't want to give away yet what we're getting. It's never been separated too far from its mother, so I want to make a nice confined space for it to hang out for a couple days till it get adjusted. Right now, these nannies and these little babies that I have here are in this little pen with this barn because it was so wet and nasty in the past couple days, and it's actually calling for some sunshine and about 65-degree weather for the rest of the week. So we're going to get them moved back up to the front pasture. I'm going to keep them separated from the other herd because I've been letting the other herd out in the afternoons to graze. I don't want these babies taken off to graze outside of the pasture. So we're going to go move the other goats first, and then we're going to get these mamas and these babies into a new little pasture real quick and get this little pen right here behind me set up for the new animal. So like I said, I've been letting the goats out every afternoon so they can graze outside the pasture. Kind of give our pasture a little break. We're going to be using a lot of it coming up in the next week or so with weaning and having these babies. Trying to keep everybody separated, so I'm feeding everybody accordingly. So I've got the whole herd behind me. We're walking over to our neighbor's property. Our neighbors have an old cow pasture they're not using anymore, or at least not currently, and they gave me permission to let the goats out there several hours in the afternoon so they can graze. Come on, goats. They get hung up by my mama's bushes. Come on, goats. Let's see if we can get them over here. As you can see, this pasture behind me is pretty grown up, and these goats have been enjoying coming out here every afternoon, so we'll let them out there and let them enjoy it. Let's see if we can get them all in there. So it took a little bit of coercion, but we got them all out there. They'll enjoy this mix of fescue and ryegrass and all kind of weeds that's just kind of naturally sprouted over in this pasture. And I'll leave them out here for the next hour or so, just kind of let them munch around, get their bellies full, gives them a break off that ground that they've been on with the worm load. So we'll just let them hang out. So I got the mamas and the babies in that pasture up there. I didn't record it because herding little babies is not fun, especially while carrying a camera. If something doesn't follow a feed bucket and you can't really chase it that well, it's not really easy to herd. But I got them settled in. I'm gonna get them some water and some food here in a second, and I'm gonna get everything else set back up in this pen behind me, or in front of me, to put that animal in. And my buddy will be here shortly with the animal. I'll bring you back in whenever he gets here, and we'll get it unloaded and let him talk maybe a little bit, see if he's not camera shy, and I'll show you what I got.
I heard Bob Bowie tell Ken Williams one time. I didn't hear him say it. He told me about it. He told Tim she took serious what she was poking fun about.
All right, so you saw us unload them. We got us a little beef calf. It's a bull right now, but my buddy Fletcher here, he's my college roommate, He sold it to us. He brought it down to us yesterday. He vaccinated and he put a band on it, so it's a couple days it's gonna be no longer a bull calf. It'll be a little steer that we're gonna raise out to grow. And I guess Fletcher's a little camera shy.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I'm gonna catch back up with you tomorrow. We're gonna let this calf settle in and we'll get it fed and watered tonight. And I'll show it to you tomorrow after he gets settled down and stops pacing the fence. But we're excited about this. So as you can see, Fletcher wasn't too keen on talking on camera, so I'll do some talking about this guy today. It's the next day now. He's kind of gotten settled in. He's not pacing the fence line as much now, and he ate his grain yesterday afternoon. We'll feed him here shortly. But I kind of want to talk about what this calf is going to do for us. I think we're going to name him Brisket. Kind of is already a determined name that I kind of came up with whenever we started talking about getting a calf. But so what Brisket's going to do for us, he's a bull calf now, but like I said in the clip before, we do have a band on him, so he'll be a steer here shortly. In a week or so, that band will dry him up and his little jewels will fall off. But what we're going to do with him is we're going to raise him out. We'll try to get him to about 1,000 to 1,100 pounds, and he will eventually be going in mine and my dad's freezer. And we're gonna split the butchering cost so we can raise our own hamburger and have our own steaks and things like that. Kind of save some money, and plus we know where the meat's coming from. But this guy, he'll calm down, he'll come around. Hopefully, I'm not necessarily wanting a pet out of him, but you know, I'd like for something that is pretty friendly, that you can walk up to without having to worry about anybody going in the pen with him, or just something happens where this animal could hurt somebody, especially when it gets a lot bigger. So the plan with him is we're going to be feeding him about 1 to 2% of his body weight per day for the next year. Right now, it's mid-February right now, and he probably won't be ready to be butchered till next February. At that rate of a pound, or 1% of his body weight in feed should equivalent to 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds per gain right now. He's sitting at about 350 pounds right now, so it ought to take right at a year to get him to the weight that we want to butcher at. So we're going to be feeding him that. I'm going to be feeding him a 14% blend cow feed. Actually, a local company around here makes. So I think he's hiding behind the barn right now checking out rivers. But like I said, he's going to be with us for about a year, so you'll be seeing a lot of them. We've been wanting to do this for a while, raising our own steer to butcher. And also it gives us a little more different content to put here on YouTube, not just all the goats all the time or the garden. So we got the pigs now, we got the goats, we got the garden, now we got a butcher steer that we're going to be raising out. So I'll see if I can't get him out from behind the building. We'll get a little bit of footage of him, and then we'll wrap this video up. So this is Brisket. Like I said, he's about 350 pounds. He's almost 100% Angus. He's out of a registered Angus bull and a registered cow, commercial registered cow, but we're not too concerned by that. Like I said, we're not using him for breeding purposes or anything like that. But he's a good looking little guy. The only reason Fletcher got rid of him is because he was kind of born late and didn't quite fit his breeding program. He'd be a whole lot farther behind all his other calves when they're ready to be sold. So he's going to be hanging out with us for at least a year. I know he's going to be a butcher calf, but we're going to respect him. We're going to care for him the best we can. He's going to have a decent life here, and he'll be fed really well, and hope he gets along with goats. Old Clifford over there is probably going to be his pasture mate when it's all said and done. So I know it was kind of a short video, but I kind of wanted to document this process. It's a new avenue for the farm. We look forward to doing it, and I hope y'all come along with the journey as we learn how to do it ourselves. But I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button and the like button and the notification bell if you did, and we'll see y'all on the next one.